that time of year again where the unpredictability begins, and it's frankly a very popular time as well in WWE. And of course, I am talking about Money in the Bank. That's right, everybody. I have a briefcase. What do you know? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 7 of Under the Middle Rope. I'm your host, Jose Tabuada. And yeah, let me put this back up again. It is our Money in the Bank predictions. I do have a replica, and this is a funny story as to how I got it, and it will be explained in the episode with our guests. Yeah, I know it's a random thing to have, and no, I didn't actually cash in on somebody. It's just a nice little prop, a collectible item that I have. So we're just gonna leave it as is, and again, you're gonna get an explanation as to why I have that in the first place. But yes, it is Money in the Bank, the time where one individual can just suddenly rise to glory, as if you want to talk in that storyline, kayfabe mode. And of course, because it is our prediction show, this bad boy, the Under the Middle Rope Championship, yes, it is a WWE Championship replica, but what can I do? Is back up for grabs. I am the current reigning champion after getting the WrestleMania predictions right, and some of my guests today are still a bit bitter, and I want another opportunity at this, and they're going to get that opportunity today. In saying that, Peter Atkinson is back. Another famous guest that we'd like to have on here. Stacey, a man who was part of the very first few episodes of Under the Middle Rope, has returned as well. And of course, my 2017 After the Count podcast co-host, great dude. And as always, everybody's favorite guest, everybody's go-to man, Andrew Wolf Woltman. The man is starting to come on here on a bit more frequent basis. But hey, we appreciate him and what he does. So, like I said, it is our prediction show. And given that it's not as long as WrestleMania, we're at a good, fairly suited time here. So, sit back, relax, get a drink, and enjoy our Money in the Bank predictions. Okay, everybody, we are now here in the discussion part, and we have an assortment of guests. First of all, Nick didn't show up because, well, I didn't invite him. Introducing the usuals, Pete is back. Returning from the first episode is my good friend Stacey from back in my ATC days. And introducing the man who has threatened to steal my Funko Pops if I don't bring him on, the ever-favorite Mr. Andrew Wolf Woltman. Hi,
that
Wolf.
Ronda Rousey is going to be mine.
I was just about to ask which one you'd steal first.
Ronda Rousey. I feel like that one's I don't know.
I think I sold that one. Oh, yeah, I sold it. No, I sold it. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Bastard.
So everybody, of course, it is one of everybody's favorite seasons, Money in the Bank. Yes, I have a replica briefcase. Yeah. And actually, funny enough, this is where I got this briefcase with RJ when we were at the 2018 Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah.
When he was wondering where I disappeared to for an hour, and it was to buy this. So
yeah, it was in the middle of, you missed like 2 matches. I don't even remember what matches you missed because
I missed the Universal match.
Yeah, you missed the triple threat with Kane. That wasn't really that good anyway.
Yeah, so I came back with the Money in the Bank, and everybody in the section was like, "What the hell did you do?" I'm like, "Money in the Bank."
If you can tell me that you've used that for anything other than a prop on the night you bought it, then I'll say it's an okay purchase.
I once had it hanging on my ceiling, if that counts.
That counts for nothing.
You can carry poker chips in there.
Congratulations. You should interior decorate for 6-year-olds.
I have some autographs in here, some other like fun stuff that I need to keep inside. I don't know, nothing.
The funny thing is you actually get a contract with it. So he just forgot to cash it in.
It's true.
I bet he lost it.
It's true. No, I didn't lose it. Okay. So of course it is Money in the Bank, and it is time for another predictions, which means, of course, it is time for the Under the Middle Rope Championship. I wish I had an actual Under the Middle Rope Championship. But yes, of course, once again, this is on the line. Person with the most predictions gets to be called champion for a month, which I know Pete and Wolf were very angry that they didn't win the first time, and RJ is a brand new fresh blood in this, I should say. So good luck, gentlemen. Obviously, it'd be nice to retain it, but we'll see how this plays out. So not that many matches on the card this time around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the time of this recording, 6 matches were announced. Of course, if anything else were to be added on, this will be updated, or we'll discuss it next week if something were to come on. Before we go on, Pete, I want to start off with you because you said you made another bet with another friend of ours. This doesn't involve Wolf. It doesn't involve me this time. Do you want to explain what that is?
No.
You don't want to explain what it is?
It's the easiest money I've ever made. Like 100% is the easiest money I've ever made.
So with another friend of ours.
In summary,
go.
Yeah, in summary, like I made a bet with somebody in a group chat with us that Tamina is not going to win the belt. If I lose, I will go and watch Cats again and do whatever, but that's just not going to happen because Tamina is not winning a championship in 2020 or ever. So, and if I win, I get £16. So that's like $23 for American people.
Oh,
So that's a fantastic win for me.
It's even more for Canadian people.
It's true. It's true. So should we start off with predicting the matches? And in saying that, let's start off with Bayley versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We already know what Pete said, so we're gonna put down Bayley there.
Yep.
Just of course as the backstory.
I'm going to Tamina. Sorry, Bayley.
In the backstory, just after WrestleMania, Tamina came out saying that she wasn't fairly beaten because everybody had to pin her. So if she beat Sasha Banks, she got a chance at the SmackDown Women's Championship. It happened. Nothing more to it. I'm just gonna go off the bat that I'm gonna say Bayley as well because I'm with Pete. How the hell can Tamina win? Of course, we've been upset in the past, and WrestleMania was no exception of that. So, but it's Tamina. No, I don't see it. RJ.
Well, you say how can Tamina win? I'll tell you how Tamina can win. She is her size. No, she's not winning. Bayley's gonna win. This has got to lead up to some sort of Bayley and Sasha match down the line. So Bayley's gonna keep trucking here.
Wolf.
I don't care. No, look. Here's the thing. I don't care. Like, I don't care about the story of this match whatsoever. I don't get whatever, you know. Bayley's gonna win. I'm just throwing it out there. Bayley's most likely gonna win. I wouldn't be as shocked as like other people would be though if Tamina did win because Vince McMahon kind of has that weird senioritis moment. He's like, well, I don't care. Do whatever the hell you want to do. So I wouldn't put a surprise past anybody. I don't think it's likely, but I also don't care. So who knows? Tamina could win, but it could start raining bacon in 5 minutes too. But yeah. So I'm gonna say Bayley. Bayley's
All right, so we're all unanimous.
Tamina's Tamina's the equivalent of watching paint dry. At the end of the day,
if Bayley's gonna lose to somebody that's not Sasha, it's not Tamina.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's switch over to the other least important match,
exactly.
the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Again, another multi-man match, and by multi-man, it's multi-man's an understatement here. It's a fatal four-way. The New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston, who are champions, taking on Miz and Morrison, who want the titles back. The Forgotten Sons, which could consist of Steve Cutler, Jackson Riker, or Wesley Blake.
Reminder. Jose.
Thank you, Alexa.
For those that don't know, Wolf set up an alarm to Alexa about 10 minutes before to remind him to beat me up. And I knew it would come out horribly, like just sound off. So good on you, buddy.
Actually, it came up on the screen. It said Posey, like Posey. Like, I don't know what. I guess it misheard me. So whatever.
Fatal four-way for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. New Day, Big E and Kofi, Miz and Morrison, the Forgotten Sons, Steve Cutler, Jackson Riker, and or Wesley Blake. Any of the three can be involved. And the Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado. Wolf, we'll start with you on this one.
Still don't care. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, New Day kind of just won, but they never really need the titles. It feels like whenever they get the titles, it's less and less of an accomplishment. It's like, all right, whatever. Miz and Morrison, I feel like some of the steam got taken out of their team. I wouldn't mind if they won. But frankly, I think maybe they'll give it to the Forgotten Sons. That's going to be my pick, the Forgotten Sons, which, terrible. But I don't know. I feel like, if we're going to do something with the titles, might as well do something new. But again, this is somehow on the level of Tamina on the me caring about something. I just don't. It could go anyway. But if I had to roll with Paradise, I'd probably say, Forgotten Sons.
RJ.
I'm gonna go with the Forgotten Sons too. Actually, I just have a feeling they're doing something with this group here. They got a big win just last week, and then I don't think the New Days are keeping this title. I think they're just kind of picked it up on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and they're just going to move it on to a new team. So I'm going to go with the Forgotten Sons here because I don't think the Lucha House Party really has much of a chance here, and I don't think they're putting them right back on Miz and Morrison if they just took them off them a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to go with the Forgotten Sons also here.
Pete.
I'm not going with the Forgotten Sons, but I actually do care about.
I wish
this
I
match.
didn't.
Shock horror. I care about this match, but only for one reason. I think I've got the intrigue of the hacker guy in the background, which he seems to be targeting tag teams with his latest thing. When he did the Truth Will Be Revealed, it was all clips of tag teams. Big lingering shot in the New Day. I think he could be involved somewhere in the New Day, but I also think the New Day just won those belts. They're not going to lose them straight away. Lucha House Party's in there to take a pin. I'm sticking with New Day.
New Day.
Yeah.
I forgot about that hacker. That hacker he's been weird. It's been a little weird because like he was so focused on he was so in that Mandy Otis storyline, and now that that's settled, now that it's water under the bridge, he's still kind of just lingering around. Yeah, I'm gonna go with New Day as well. I don't see them losing it right away. This is like what their 6th, 7th reign, I think. 8th. I missed
and that's
a few
what Wolf
there.
was saying, right? Like
It's geez, they're closing in on a record. I think what Dudleys are
9.
the Dudleys they're up there.
9.
But I don't see New Day just doing much. Like I don't see New Day losing it. I should say I kind of see this continuing moving forward, and then. But I will say that I was torn between New Day and the Forgotten Sons, and I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I be upset if the Forgotten Sons won, because I know they're very hot. I know they're very up there, and if they want to have a little fun and give us a little shock factor, boom, that's your match right there. Let's jump ship to the Universal Championship. Braun Strowman, new champion, which Pete rightfully predicted last month at WrestleMania, who was confident with his pick and saying that Braun Strowman was going to win, saying there was no chance that Goldberg was going to lose, and well, here we are. Taking on Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend. That's one to make a note of, not the Fiend. Bray Wyatt brought up his past with the Wyatt family back in 2014, 2015, and Bray Wyatt eventually just wants another shot at the Universal Championship that he lost against Goldberg at that so-called Saudi pay-per-view. Let's start with Pete on this one.
So I think they're still building to the Goldberg versus Reigns match, so Goldberg's going to keep that belt. Now that they've actually dropped the belt to Braun, I feel like he has to at least keep it for a little bit and not be a transitional champion. So I'm going with Braun Strowman, and I think that's why it's Bray Wyatt and not the Fiend, so Bray Wyatt can actually lose this match.
RJ.
Yeah, just what he said right at the end there. The reason they're going with Bray Wyatt here instead of the Fiend has got to be to give Braun one title defense, because it took him so long to get this belt, and he always failed to get the belt, and he finally wins the belt as an afterthought because Roman can't perform. They got to do him a solid and give him at least one title defense, and I think Braun's gonna retain here until the Fiend comes in as the Fiend and takes it off him.
Wolf.
I'm going to say Bray Wyatt, actually.
Okay.
Because I think Braun Strowman, is cold boogers on a paper plate. And at this point, you made the mistake of taking it off. You might as well right that wrong. And I do love the intrigue of, actually using continuity, because that's like one of my favorite things. That's why I'm such a stan for the Marvel universe. I love referencing things that happened in the past and having basic knowledge that things have happened in longer than the span of 4 weeks ago. So I feel like Bray Wyatt has a chance. I don't know if it'll be clean. I do like that it's not the Fiend, because that's, how long can you watch the, teleporting murder clown come out of nowhere and just rah! So I'm just gonna say Bray Wyatt. I don't know why. I have a gut feeling. If anything, it just gives us another one that this isn't a buy round that everyone picked the same thing.
I agree with you there too. They need to make the Bray character actually not as dominant as the Fiend, but he needs to be a threat. He needs to still win matches. So I don't actually think it's a bad idea to pick Bray here, because as soon as you started talking, I'm like, oh, maybe Bray will win, but I'm sticking with Braun.
You're sticking with Braun. Okay. I was like, wait, where are you going with that? I'm gonna go with Braun as well. I do like Wolf's points a lot. I agree, but I just that they still put so much like weight, so much value on the Fiend that I don't see Bray, like the character himself, defeating somebody as a monster like Braun Strowman. I see like they want to go like once again like that supernova mode with the Fiend. So I'm gonna stick with Braun Strowman as well. I just I think it's too soon, and of course that kind of does put up the questions, where does Braun go from there? But I feel like this is just going to continue on for the Fiend to eventually come out and then do what he has to do to get that back. The WWE Championship, the sexy Scottishman Drew McIntyre versus the Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins. Everybody was visibly upset as soon as Seth Rollins came out to attack Drew. I think it was the night after WrestleMania because he lost to Kevin Owens, or I think it was the week after he lost to Kevin Owens. And what the heck is Seth Rollins doing here? I agree. I'm not happy with Seth Rollins being in the spot again, but so I'm going to go off the bat. And I'm going to say Drew McIntyre because there was no way in hell you kill that momentum just a month after, especially if there are no fans. You keep this going. You keep people glued to, as like he has been like such a breath of fresh air for a lot of people during essentially this crazy time that we're living in. So I'm sticking with Drew. There is nothing else that I don't see Seth winning this, or I think it would cause an uproar, even more of an uproar in WWE. Pete?
Yeah, I'm going Drew as well. It makes sense. Having won the title, to take it off it before we even get back to like live shows seems ridiculous. I'm quite like Seth in this spot though. I think it's a good first challenger. He's a heel. He's an that we all want to see lose. So it seems a logical first challenger. I said that at Mania as well, which is why I thought he'd beat Kevin Owens. But to build up to this match a bit more, and yeah, I think it's a good first challenger, but Drew has to retain that title for now.
RJ.
Yeah, I'm going with Drew as well. I think if there was fans, there would be a little bit of a better chance for Seth to win. But there's no heat.
Okay.
There's no heat if he wins here right now, I don't think. Whereas, like you guys just said, like you don't really want to see him in this match right now. He's not really a deserving opponent, but he's that kind of character where he could squirm out a little win on Sunday, and fans would just hate him for it. But because there's no fans in the crowd, I don't think there's a chance of that happening at all. And Drew is going to win, but I do think Seth is a good loser because they will put on a good match, and Drew is going to get a convincing, clean victory.
Wolf.
In 27 years of my life, I never thought I would say this sentence and not have it be sarcastic. But Drew McIntyre can't lose because we are building to a really hot feud with Jinder Mahal.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this in earnest.
Let's go.
And I actually mean it. Like, there's a lot of story there. There's like a lot of money in that. Like, people want to see Jinder. He's been gone for a while. Like, people are curious, and they have history. Like I said, continuity is one of my favorite things. I don't want to see that just so Seth Rollins can cackle for another 2 months and put on the same matches he's been doing. No, I want to see the Claymore versus the Colossus. This is what I want. Drew McIntyre has to retain.
They're building him too.
They are. They're bringing up that he's a former champion. It's going to happen, and I'm actually happy for that.
Now, for context, Jinder Mahal did make his return this past week. Was it this week or last week? It was last week, right? That he led the return. First of all, health-wise, thank goodness, because he was gone for a year. It was a very serious injury. And, of course, you don't want to see that. Now, let's focus on the WWE character himself. Oh, my God, why? It's like, it was a breath of fresh air when the title was off of him, but they are hinting it on social media. They are planting those seeds. I swear to God, Wolf, if you're right,
he doesn't need to win.
He doesn't need to win. I just want the feud. I want the story.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it if it's a one Raw storyline. So at the start of it, he comes out at the start of Raw and says, "Look, 3MB, I used to be a champion. You used to be." And at the end of the Raw, we have that match. I don't want a long feud between them. I want one episode. Storyline brings up. Drew squashes him in 5 minutes in the main event. That's fine for me. But that's all I want from it.
Give him a throwaway pay-per-view.
See, this is why I agree with Wolf. I don't think that's good for a Raw storyline. I think that's one that they're going to expand on if they do it because of the history with 3MB, with like Jinder Mahal's unlikely championship reign, and now Drew in that spot. Yeah, heck, you know what? Give us another 3 years. We're gonna get the 3MB triple threat for the WWE title, WrestleMania 39.
I need Flater.
But I'll go with the hybrid in the sense of like I think it starts on Raw and you'll get that small little like seed, but then it goes to what Wolf is saying, and then they're gonna expand it even more. So I think it's coming, and I think Wolf is right, and that scares me.
I just don't want to see Jinder in that title picture.
I don't either. I
do, and I never thought it's what 2020 is weird, y'all. I'm not even joking.
RJ, would you want to see it or not?
Oh, of course.
Oh, for God's sakes. Okay.
We're all Jinder.
2020 is weird. 2020 is freaking weird.
You see, I also I love how RJ says we're all Jinder marks, and I want to disagree, but then when we were at SmackDown in 2017, we were all cheering for Jinder Mahal, and it was a damn
place was
shame.
Hot for Jinder for Seth.
We were going nuts. And
he's very famously Canadian.
He is.
That's the funny thing.
Go back 15 months. Go back 15 months. Could you imagine anybody saying, I don't want to see Seth Rollins in the title picture. I want to see Jinder Mahal in the title picture.
Okay, but Jinder
Before
Mahal
last year's Mania, when Rollins was the hottest commodity, and now we want to see Jinder Mahal over Seth Rollins in the title picture.
Who just beat Rusev for the US title, and everybody hated it.
Well, if Seth Rollins wasn't constantly getting in who's pettier contest with Kenny Omega, then yeah, maybe I'd still like him. But this is where we're at. He wasn't when he started on Twitter.
All right. Okay. All right. We've made our peace with this. Hinder the Jinder Money in the Bank predictions. Okay, so let's move on to the reason why this movie is called Money in the Bank, and of course it is the Money in the Bank ladder matches. As a reminder, which is Wolf's favorite thing, to win this match, it is not a traditional ladder match inside a ring. It will be at WWE headquarters. You are starting at the ground floor, and you are working your way up towards the roof, where the briefcases are waiting for the winners from the men's and the women's. Now, another interesting thing that's just been noted this past week is that both matches are happening at the same time for the first time. The men's and the women's are starting off together on the ground floor, and they're going to be, again, working their way up, where I presume both the man and the woman to win will be retrieving their briefcases at the same time. Another rumor that we heard is that throughout the pay-per-view, we're going to be going in and out. So let's say the night starts with the Money in the Bank briefcase. We go to the Fatal 4-Way. At the end of the Fatal 4-Way, we go back to the match and so on and so forth. Before we make our predictions, thoughts on just that concept in general, just the fact that they're going at the same time, and is it a smart idea or not to go to cut in and out as the night goes by? Let's start with RJ on this.
So with the cutting in and out thing, I'm hoping / thinking that they might cut in and out throughout the headquarters, and then at the end of the match, maybe have like a 10-minute like Money in the Bank match on the roof. I'm hoping they still get maybe a little bit of a match in at the end, but I'm not sure how it's going to work. It's going to be interesting for sure, but this wrestling's been interesting for the last month, so I have no idea what's really going to happen here. I don't really know. It's going to be weird.
What are your thoughts on the fact that they're happening at the same time?
I think that's cool, actually, because it's not a basic match, and because they're cutting in and out, I feel like they're going to show like one scene from like the women's match and then cut to a match, and then maybe go to the men's match and then cut to a match. I'm not sure how much they're actually going to intertwine. I thought that might happen a little bit more if maybe Mandy and Otis were in the match. Maybe they team up together during the matches, but because that's not the case, I don't know who's really going to intertwine with each other in the Money in the Bank match. I'm sure it's going to happen. So that's what maybe I'm interested in, is seeing what male and female superstars kind of get into it with each other or help each other maybe.
I'm going to go with Pete because Wolf always has something funny to say at the end of it. So Pete, let's go with you. Not that Pete's not funny, but just like Wolf has been on this for like the last 3 weeks. Pete.
Yeah, I think it's the cutting in and out, as long as it doesn't happen during a match. I don't want to be like 10 minutes into Drew versus Seth and then cut to the Money in the Bank and then cut back to Drew versus Seth. If it's in between matches, yeah, I'm all for it. Have it during the show. What I almost want to see, though, is literally in the first 5 minutes of the show, I don't care if it's the men's or the women's, just one person running the elevator, goes straight to the top and win it instantly. Well, everyone doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then still showed the women competing because they don't actually realize one person's already gone to the roof and won it. So they're still fighting during the episode to try and get up there, get to the top, and just a look of
Someone's on the ladder.
confusion on those competitors' faces when they look up and see it's already gone. That's what I want to see during it.
Wolf?
Okay. I think anyone who's watched this knows that I think this is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Come on.
But it has a lot of potential for comedy. You can't do it with this, like, you can't do it trying to be funny. It works if it's like the 1966 Batman series when it's like clearly ridiculous crap, but they're all taking it extremely seriously. So it's got to be campy. It's got to be silly, but you can't really draw attention to how stupid it is unless it's like an episode of Rick and Morty. But my newest booking idea. AJ Styles goes all the way up, climbs the ladder, grabs a case, and the referee, the winner of the 2020 Women's Money in the Bank. Oh, crap, I grabbed the wrong one. All right,
someone comes and shoves him off the ladder.
Where's Bailey? God damn it, I'll take it.
See, you say that, and Otis is in the men's. I feel like he would do that for Mandy. I can see that happening.
Did they really want an Ellsworth situation?
Yeah, but this is better than Ellsworth. Otis is better than Ellsworth, like by far.
I know he is, but did they really want to remind people of a man winning?
Otis looks like James Ellsworth in a Super Mario mushroom.
You know what? Let us have some fun, Pete.
Otis is in the match. Ellsworth wasn't in the match.
But also, we need somebody climbing the side of the building with suction cups, and we need Brock Lesnar at the roof throwing barrels like Donkey Kong.
To be fair, Otis could fill that role.
Now, so let's get to the prediction. Actually, well, hold on before you. Let me say this. I like the idea of both happening at the same time. I can totally see, for example, like maybe Nia Jax teaming up with King Corbin to do something dumb, or AJ Styles and Carmella. I don't know. I'm just throwing hypothetical situations. I don't mean that legitimately is going to happen, but I can see that at least a few of these competitors are going to work with each other to try to knock out their competition. I don't know, but I can totally see like an alliance thing being formed as like the match goes on. But that's just me.
Hashtag rat race.
So in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Asuka, Shayna, Nia, Dana, Lacey, and Carmella. Carmella would be the first two-time women's champion, first two-time women's Money in the Bank champion. Everybody else is fair game. Wolf, let's start off with you because I've been going last with you lately. So who do you got and why?
I kind of hard to pick. You know, anyone besides Dana Brooke could actually win this, but I don't know. I'd like to say Shayna, but that's the most likely one in my book. But I'm also kind of wondering why the hell we didn't just give her the title at WrestleMania. So if Shayna wasn't in the match, this would be more open. But I'm thinking Shayna Baszler. I wouldn't put it past them to give it to Nia Jax. Maybe build her up as a bit of a threat. But I feel like we've also been to that well before with her as a champion or a challenger. I think there's more money in Shayna Baszler. It's not too late to save her. I'm just kind of upset that we're at the point where we have to.
Pete.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Wolf. I'm slightly disagree in that I could see anybody win this match except Carmella. So I could see, in theory, Dana Brooke actually winning this match. Don't think it's likely, but I could see a scenario in which she does. But realistically, I think it has to be one of the Raw competitors. And this is then a head versus WWE head. So rather than a Logic head. Because logically, I don't think Shayna Baszler needs to win the briefcase. Because I feel you can just build her by have her crush a few people, who comes number one, just wins it normally. I feel like a sneaky cash-in doesn't suit that character. However, I'm then going to go WWE Logic head, and they're just going to go, oh, well, Shayna's the next person we want challenging for that, so we're just going to give her the briefcase and have her cash in and win it that way. So I'm going to go with my WWE Logic head rather than my own Logic head, and I'm going with Shayna Baszler.
RJ.
Yeah, I'm right with both these guys. I don't think Shayna needs this whatsoever, but she is going to win. I'd be surprised if she doesn't. I kind of want Lacey to win, or I would even take Asuka here. But I think Shayna is going to win. She doesn't need it at all because, as you just said, she's credible. Like, she doesn't need to come in with a sneaky case. Like, she could be the challenger tomorrow, and I wouldn't look past it. So I think she also should have won the title at WrestleMania, and I'm very surprised that she didn't. But I think the belt is very soon in her future. But she really doesn't need that case, but she's going to get it anyway.
I originally saw this match as a bit of an underwhelming match because of Shayna. If Shayna wasn't in that picture, I think it would be the most open Money in the Bank match that I've ever seen because there's some like unpredictability. Shayna in there just really just throws everything off, and I hate to agree. I'm gonna go with Shayna as well. If anything, this is more of a I want to protect my title on this podcast pick rather than I think Shayna's gonna win pick. Because if I'm officially putting on Shayna, I'm gonna make that clear. But if I had to pick somebody else, I would be torn. I actually wouldn't mind picking Nia Jax.
That'd be my second.
I think it'd be nice because she just came back after the year, literally a year, and she's coming back, and everybody's still finds her like a bit rough. But I can also see WWE take advantage of it because she's really working social media well with that. Like, she's too aggressive, she's too rough, all that stuff. If not, then I think a third pick would be Carmella because she does have that best friend status with Bayley in real life, and that would be a pretty solid matchup aside from Bayley Sasha. But my pick, my under the middle rope pick is Shayna. My hard pick is Nia Jax. Let's go over to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Men's Money in the Bank: Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, King Corbin, Otis, and AJ Styles after Apollo Crews was out. Daniel Bryan would be the other two-time Money in the Bank winner if it does happen. This one's a bit interesting, I think, because these are all men that I kind of didn't expect to be in this position, if you ask me. It's up in the air. I'm going to start with Wolf again on this.
Okay, Corbin's going to win, and then the referees are going to immediately take it from him and say, yeah, we already know where this is going to go. We'll just take it now.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're just going to skip you walking around with this for months. We know you're going to lose. Just give it back.
Sorry, a side note, yes. Yes, Daniel Bryan and King Corbin would be the next two-time Money in the Bank winners. CM Punk the first. Sorry, I forgot to bring up Corbin. Wolf, continue.
No, obviously that's a joke. Just like get Baron Corbin. But anyway, I'm going to say AJ Styles. This would have been a lot more open if AJ Styles hadn't come back and cut a really good promo in the ring and kind of, figured he would become a meme if he didn't already yell out, "I'm not a zombie." So I don't know. I feel like AJ Styles is somebody that can build up as a good competitor, and who knows? I could look forward to him versus Drew McIntyre down the line. I don't know if he'll necessarily be a sneaky cash-in. I wouldn't put it past him to, but I don't know if that's the direction they'll go. That said, I really look forward to Baron Corbin getting stuck in an elevator for about 4 hours and then, coming back and they open it and like, okay, it's time for Extreme Rules. Are you ready for your match with Elias? I've been here that long. Okay. But yeah, AJ Styles officially.
RJ.
Took the words right out of my mouth, man. If this would be way more open if AJ didn't come back yesterday. It's almost teetering on a gimme now. Like, I think AJ wins this. I probably would have picked. I actually wanted Apollo to win before he got hurt, or if this is legit or whatever. He was really hot on Raw. He put on some pretty good matches. He had that solid backstage situation, the interview with Andrade where he slapped the crap out of his face. That was a really good spot, and he's really been on fire the last little bit. So I kind of wanted to see him win, but it looks like they're going to use this to kind of maybe use him in the future and build him up a little bit more. AJ is going to win, I think. I don't really see a whole lot else. I think Otis has a better chance of winning the women's Money in the Bank, like you said earlier. Daniel Bryan could win. Wouldn't surprise me if they gave it to Baron Corbin, but I do think that this is AJ's Money in the Bank. He hasn't had it before. This is a type of match that he could win easily here.
Pete.
Yeah, it's similar to these guys. Like a few weeks back when Apollo Crews was still in the match, I thought this was one of the most open, unpredictable Money in the Bank matches there's ever been. And realistically, anyone but Otis could have won out of that initial lineup. Now, then as soon as Apollo Crews went out, I went, well, this mystery person is going to win because they're going to leave it as a mystery person. It's going to be like how Brock Lesnar won it last year. Then they brought back AJ Styles and went, well, he is Mr. Reliable. Vince trusts him to God. He trusts him with the promos. He knows he's going to put on great matches. he's happy for him to be put back in that title picture again. He got the best you possibly could have out of The Undertaker at WrestleMania as well. It seems the logical choice is AJ Styles. Before then, I wanted to go for Aleister Black. I thought that was going to be his big moment to elevate the card. But now with AJ back, I'm slightly concerned I've gone for 2 Raw winners, but
I feel like
has to be.
They don't have to challenge the Raw champion though anymore, right? They can still
don't.
challenge either way.
No, this is still a
They could challenge NXT.
Wait, really? You can do that?
I think so.
I mean, I wouldn't
I
leave it out of the question after the Royal Rumble.
Charlotte's set a precedent now that it doesn't have to be main roster.
And
there was NXT people in the Rumble though, weren't there?
Exactly.
Not too much in this match. I don't know.
Not so much
That'd be
in this
interesting.
match,
That'd be
but-
interesting though. That'd be interesting.
I agree. And again, like, I mean, first of all, I'm just gonna get out of the way. My pick, as well as AJ Styles, it's him in this match just completely just changed everything up. In saying that, why not? I mean, this is still technically a universal briefcase, like it always was. Well, I shouldn't say it always was, because there were times when it was Raw exclusive, SmackDown exclusive, but in the early stages and even today, like, it's still like you can go in anywhere and take advantage of it. So I don't see why not. I think that would be interesting if NXT was in the mix. I wouldn't be surprised. So that I'm gonna leave it at that. And of course, now looking at this, once again, we can't be in a tiebreaker situation because
I'm tied with Wolf, aren't I?
you would be, but the bigger picture here, not to put you to the side. Pete and I have the exact same predictions.
Oof.
Word for word here. So
that's what I meant with me and Wolf. Sorry.
Yeah. So
the resident champion and the resident jobber have gone for exactly the same.
We got the exact same thing here. If Bray Wyatt wins, but then if the New Day wins, that throws Wolf into the mix. That's the only difference. So we can be in a we if anything, we could very well be in a 4-way tie. Actually, no, we may not be because the SmackDown tag teams is different. Let's do tiebreaker again. Time tiebreaker because I did it so well last time we did this. So let's once again let's go off.
It was a failure.
Yeah, let's go off with the closest time.
10 seconds out.
Let's go off with the closest time. Doesn't matter if people are going over or not. For the Bray and Braun match, because that feels like a squash match. Closest no matter when. I'm going to say 6:25 to start. RJ.
I think they could do some theatrics that drag this out a little bit longer than that. I'm going to say you can't go over. Doesn't matter. Did you say? Like
Closest.
Okay.
Time.
Closest. Doesn't matter when.
I'm going to say 13:25. I think they're going to do some weird theatrics that drag this out a lot longer, and I don't think Bray's going to get squashed that quickly.
I think I'm screwed. Pete?
Yeah, like I was hoping you were going to say Drew versus Seth because I felt a lot more confident in picking a time for that match. Bray versus Braun. I'm just looking at the length of the card, thinking there's only 6 matches currently. I can only think of one more that can get added. That's the Raw tag match. So I'm thinking it's going to be slightly longer than we think. So I'm going to go 10:50.
Damn it! I'm so screwed. Wolf.
Well, if Pete didn't just totally incept me and take my guess, I would have, all right.
Taken by a second over.
I'm going to say 8:45.
8:45?
No, don't talk to Jose about Price is Right rules. He doesn't know how that works. Don't stare. Yeah, 8:45.
What did you go, Jose?
I went 6:25.
Oh, you got the major under. You got pretty much anything underneath $7 and anything underneath 7 minutes.
Yeah, all the low.
Oh wait, I have a question. Do you mind if I throw something out there, Jose? I promise it's not silly. Do we think the Fiend could get involved at all? Like somehow, I don't know, like some kind of distraction. Do you think it's possible?
No.
Can I take this one?
Pete, let's start with Pete. Yeah.
I think that's a feud afterwards. So I think Braun beats Bray, but then the Fiend comes out to challenge him. Like not on this show, but down the line. So Bray be like, yeah, you beat me, but someone else wants a word with you. And then that's the Fiend come.
which is the Daniel Bryan route that they did for the Royal Rumble for the most part.
Yeah.
Survivor Series Rumble. So
Yeah.
RJ, did you have something to add to that?
I think it's possible that maybe the Fiend doesn't show up in person, but maybe there's some like the lights go off, like I said, there's gonna be some theatrics, and he might not show up in person, but I think maybe on the Tron he might show up to try and distract Braun. I think that he might make his appearance known, whether he might show up or not, but he will definitely make his appearance known, I think.
If anything, I just really want Kane to show up as like, fake Fiend, like he was fake Diesel.
Just
what
like
else is he doing besides trying to help, Knox County through a global
I was going to say, it's
pandemic?
busy time for him, man. It's a Knox County mayor. He's got a pandemic.
Okay, I understand you want to open up our county, but I need to go help two hillbillies solve a wrestling feud.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we close off? This is not WrestleMania level of predictions, so we are in great time here today. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm excited for it. I know this Money in the Bank match can be super gimmicky, but like Wolf said, the comedy value might be there, and I love me some comedy. So if they do this well, like they did the pre-packaged shows on WrestleMania with the Firefly Funhouse and with the Boneyard match, I trust WWE in a match like that, and I think they could put on a pretty good product.
Anybody else? I kind of agree with them. I think they are going to go cinematic for Money in the Bank, and if they don't, it's a shame because how the heck can they go live? Again, I wouldn't be surprised if, kind of like what we discussed a couple of weeks back, that you don't want people with drones coming in or whatnot. People are going to try to spoil that out. So I don't know. Wolf, you had one final thought.
I may not be watching it live because parts 7 and 8 of The Last Dance air this Sunday night, and we're talking about Michael Jordan during his initial retirement.
We don't get it until Monday.
Years. So, it's already been filmed, so that's fine. But I'm really into The Last Dance. I just wanted to throw that out there. If you haven't seen The Last Dance, please look it up on ESPN Plus. It's a really solid documentary. It's like Tiger King if people weren't totally monsters.
Yeah.
RJ and I, we get it at midnight on Monday.
Yeah,
So as soon as the clock strikes midnight, that's when we get it. Pete, do you get it? No?
I don't care about basketball. So,
solid.
So Wolf, this is one that you're not going to watch live. And this is like the most excited
I'll watch
I've ever
the first
been
2
for
hours.
one match. This is the most excited I've ever been for one match. So I am staying to watch it live, even though I start work at 7 a.m. the next day where I am. This is going to finish probably about 3 a.m.
Yeah, I was going to ask what time it starts over there.
So I'm staying up to watch that live. And you're not even bothering.
Of course, RJ, in case you didn't realize, Pete lives in Russia, so that's why the time difference is just so big and so massive.
Do you know how globes work?
Well, thank you,
what time is it?
It's
remember last time when his screen just got so dark because we were filming for so long, it started mid-afternoon. It's like, oh crap! It's
WrestleMania recap.
And today Pete ends with light. That's amazing, gentlemen. Don't forget, this is on the line.
Have you noticed I also put the light on just to make sure?
I know. I saw that.
Just in case, because it is,
gentlemen,
7 p.m. now here. So
don't forget it. This is what's on the line. Even though I wish we had a custom under the middle rope championship. RJ's a similar to what we had it after the count only. This is nicer. Actually, I lied. No, big gold. We had big gold.
Yeah, we had big gold.
That's gonna be mine.
So if you guys are able to come back next week, great. If not, what can I do?
You're gonna ship that to me.
No, I'm not. Thank you so much again for coming on. Let's get to the closing. You made it to the end of the episode. You made it to the end. 6 matches is it's a very interesting situation that presents to us in terms of predictions as to who can be crowned champion. We're going to assume that more get added on, and of course, if they do, this graphic will show the updated. But at the time of this recording, for the SmackDown Women's Championship, everybody went Bayley across the board. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, myself and Pete went with New Day. RJ and Wolf went with the Forgotten Sons. For the Universal Championship, we all went Braun except for Wolf, who went Bray Wyatt. For the WWE Championship, we all went Drew across the board. The men's Money in the Bank, we all went AJ Styles. And for the women's Money in the Bank, we all went Shayna. And of course, that tiebreaker, I went with 625. RJ went with 13 minutes and 25 seconds. Pete went with 10 minutes and 50 seconds. And Wolf went with 8 minutes and 45 seconds. So that should be a very, very interesting race there this Sunday. And given how close that is, we'll see what happens with the predictions. But, of course, as always, that is that. Thank you so much for watching. You can find us all below. Become a patron to help support the podcast. Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, podcast. You all know the deal wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, subscribe if you can, please. And thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week, hopefully with the same guests, to give you our Money in the Bank follow-up. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy.